My name is Chris Sainsbury. I run UX Connections, which is a user experience digital design consultancy, and we help our clients understand their users better and put the user at the heart of their business. Let's talk about the basics of user experience. So what is UX? Well, it stands for user experience, and it can also be called customer experience or client experience. User experience is a framework really and a methodology for thinking about your user, your customer, from the first time they experience your business right through to using your product or service and then telling their friends about it at the end. So that customer journey is really important for putting the user at the heart of your business. As a business owner, you're probably focused on your product, and that's very understandable. You know, your product or service is what your clients are buying from you. But it's also important to consider from their point of view how they're experiencing that end-to-end business interaction with you. If we consider the 5 steps of the customer journey, these are awareness, consideration, conversion, in life, and advocacy. Awareness is when your customer first becomes aware of your business. Maybe they see an online ad, something on TV or a billboard. They're aware that you exist, but they're not exactly sure that what you offer meets their needs at that stage. The next phase of the customer journey, stage 2, is consideration. During this phase, they'll be looking at competitors, maybe looking at in-depth information. You know, we've all bought a car or a TV maybe, where we're looking at features and making sure the purchase is right for us. Make sure they have all the information they need for the consideration step of the journey, and that you're matching up against your competitors so they feel confident moving to the next step, which is conversion. That is where the customer's decided to make a purchase. You want to remove all friction from them in making that purchase, make sure they can convert easily and give you their money. Step 4 is in life. This is when they've bought your product or service. Don't think you can't improve the in-life experience. For example, maybe including recipe cards with the food that they've bought, and really optimize that and add some wonder moments. Stage 5 is advocacy, and this is where they move from using your product or service to actually telling their friends and colleagues about it. The goal in looking at this customer journey from end to end is not about reinventing your whole business and changing everything. You're obviously doing a lot right, but it is about putting a framework around your customer's perspective to make sure the customer is most likely to buy from you and move to the next stage and eventually tell their friends about it. As a small business owner, it's really easy to have your own workshop. You don't need big agencies to come in and help you out. You can do it yourself at no cost. Bring your team in, set the 5 stages of the customer journey on the wall, and then use Post-its to brainstorm each stage of the customer journey. What are we doing well? What can be improved, and what have we heard from customers about each of these steps in the customer journey. By the end of an hour or 2 session, your wall will be covered with Post-its, and this will really give you a basis for forming a business strategy on. When you're looking at your customer journey, some things to look for that are really useful are pain points and moments of wonder. A pain point is where your customer might feel particularly unhappy with your service or product. We've all experienced it, whether you're in a restaurant and they're not serving you quickly enough, whether you've bought something and you want to return it, finding it very difficult to do so. Moments of wonder are, of course, the opposite. This is where you're really sprinkling that magic dust, making sure the customers feel great about you. And it could be through an addition to something that's delivered to them in the unboxing experience. It might be a freebie of some sort. So it's important to look out for pain points and moments of wonder in your day-to-day business so that you can capture and improve these. As a small business owner, you'll no doubt have a load of assumptions about how your customers interact and feel about your business. And a lot of these will be right, but it's important to test these. There's a couple of ways you can validate your assumptions: surveys, interviews, feedback forms, net promoters. So you can do this yourself, or you can involve a third-party agency to maybe mystery shop for you and understand a customer view of your offering. You know, really it's a value exchange, and you want that valuable feedback from them, so why not offer something in return? Once you've got that customer feedback, make sure it works hard. Push those happy customers to online review sites like Google Reviews or Trustpilot to give you what you need in the online environment. Another big part of your customer journey is your website, and it really sits at the heart of all modern customer interactions. It's the checkpoint that your customers use to validate your business, make sure it's offering exactly what they want, and compare you against competitors. We've all done a Google search and come up with a whole list of competitors. So when your user or your potential customer makes that click, your website, your digital experience needs to be just right, needs to have all the content and information they need to trust your business and take their purchase decision to the next stage. With your website, you can take some simple steps to make sure it's working in a variety of environments. Get your phone out, check your site works on there, ask friends to do the same, maybe they're on different phones to you, and try different computers as well. You never know which devices your customers are going to be using to access your websites. Also, go through the whole checkout flow or a contact form. If somebody's filling it out, are they all being emailed through to you? Do all your phone numbers work? If not, you could be missing out. Everybody who arrives on a website doesn't do so randomly. They have a specific goal or task that they're trying to achieve, and you can help them do that. If they're at the awareness stage of the customer journey, they just want to know roughly that you're a legitimate business and are in the right ballpark for what they're looking for. If they're in the consideration phase, their website needs are going to be a lot more detailed. This is where you can have case studies, detailed product information, comparison tools, really building those credentials and trust with your customers. Then during conversion, making sure those conversion flows, payment flows, any contracts or contact forms all work as they should and are trustworthy and easy to follow. The content on your website is really important, and one way to make sure it's working hard is through what we call information hierarchy. And this is about the levels of importance of different pieces of information on the page. You can think of it like newspapers. They've been doing this for years. You have big headlines, you know that's what you need to look at first. Then they might have small bullet points and very small body text. And you can deploy these same tactics on your website. Make sure your customers in 5 seconds can understand what they need to from the page through the bullet points, maybe some bold and italic and different sizing to get your point across in the small window of opportunity that you have online. A great way to check the information hierarchy of your website is just to squint your eyes and look at the site. If it all blurs together, you're not getting it right. Customers don't know where to look, their eyes are not attracted to the right thing on the page. By increasing font sizes of the important information, using these tactics like bold and bullet points, imagery as well is very important to get right. You can convey your messages and storytelling and product information in the best possible way. If you do consider your content layouts and information hierarchy correctly on your website, the whole thing will be easier to consume, easier to understand, and all your sales messages will get through that much more clearly. If you've created your website yourself, or if an agency's done it for you, one thing that is important to get right and have sight of is analytics. This is a load of statistics that are captured in the background of how people are using your website. Important statistics to look out for are page views. This is how many pages are viewed in a week or a month. Dwell time. This is how long customers are staying on your site. Another one is bounce rate, and this is how many customers are landing on one page and bouncing off. Once you've got analytics installed, you can gather learnings and optimize your site. If your bounce rate is too high, this means customers are leaving as soon as they arrive. What's turning them off about your homepage? Can you get your messaging, your imagery, and your content right to keep them on the site and entice them to click through? If the dwell times are too low, customers aren't sticking around, improve that detailed content on your deeper pages that are explaining your products or services in detail, and this will really help customers stay on your site and trust you and move to the next stage in purchase. By installing this free piece of code or plugin on your site, you can get valuable metrics emailed to you each month and then make improvements and changes based on those. You may not have heard of user experience before, but hopefully today I've explained that it can play an important role in your business. Keep being curious, keep listening to your customers, making those improvements, and your customers and your business will benefit for years to come.